Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy, was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode.
So there's this rule that I learned about from General Colin Powell. He was general during, I think it was the Bush era years of like early 2000s. And Colin Powell's rule, it's called the 40-70 rule. It's for when leaders are having to make a decision. Colin Powell's rule of thumb is you have to know at least 40% of the information needed to make a decision, but not more than 70% of the information to make a decision. So you got to be between 40 and 70% to make a decision, and that's the amount of information you need. Now, it's obvious you got to know something about the thing before you can make a decision, so it's got more than zero, so that makes sense. But it's weird that he limits it to 70%. Because for me, I'm an analyst person. I like to dive into numbers. I like to do my due diligence. I like to take my research. I like to dive deeper and to know and get as close to like 99, 95% information. But the pushback I'm getting from folks that have asked Colin Powell, like, why? Why only 70? That's a D in school. Like, you don't even pass if you get a 70%. But what he acknowledges is, well, yeah, this isn't school. This is real life. You will never know 100%. But when you're working with other humans, like in a service-based business, like a fitness studio, you're never going to even know like everyone's true core intentions. And he specifically named fitness studios, of course, because it's exactly applicable to gyms when you're talking to a general. I'm kidding, by the way, that's sarcasm. But along with that is you're never going to know even 90% or 80%. And the more life experience you have, the longer you've been around the block, the more you're going to have an intuition and a gut instinct for what the remaining percent is above the 70. And when you try to give yourself facts and figures and confirmation, you ignore your intuition, which is key the farther you've gone and the more battles you've gone through and won. And you have to leave room for the intuition to either say, like, yep, this seems like a good deal, feels like a good deal, we're going to go for it because the facts are there and the gut instinct is there. But I've gotten making decisions in my past where the gut instinct wasn't there, and I've tried to confirm it away with facts and figures. This guy has a good track record. They haven't screwed any of my friends over before. Or, like, I know he acts like a sleazy salesperson, but maybe he just comes across wrong because it's still a good product. Or I'm trying to think of any other interesting ones. But you have to leave room for your gut. And if instinctually you're working with someone that is genuine, that they have the right amount of selfish ambition, that you can trust that where they're coming from, but they have the right amount of the facts and figures, but you can still do that gut check along the way, that's going to be the final confirmation. So the 40-70 rule, and I think what I'm now stepping into that phase with the studios is I've got that 70% information. I've looked over monthly profit and loss statements. I've looked at the business history, the lease documents, the franchise disclosure agreement, the franchise agreement. I've talked to franchisees. I've done my statistical steps, my logic, my due diligence, if you will. And now the only remaining part is, do I have the gusto to do this? Can I transform into the leader needed to help these businesses succeed? Can I step into the unknown, like accounting and payroll, and trust and verify vendors that can help me shore up that side of the business that I don't know how to do, but they do? And that's the stuff that's above the 70%, where I know how to find answers. I know how to research and get vendors. I know how to do basic interviewing. I know how to get peer review. I know how to establish a framework, a core values, a roadmap for the upcoming year. And I know those things, and just because I haven't done it for a fitness studio doesn't mean I don't know how to do it. It just means I haven't done it for a fitness studio. And that's the beauty of franchising. whether it's for an oil repair shop, a roofing company, a gym studio, a company that does like window graphics, or even, well, I guess car dealerships aren't a franchise, or even like a restaurant. You have to know something about the industry. You can't just be a dummy stepping in and making burgers, acting like you know what you're doing. But the stronger the franchise, the stronger the systems, and the more you're able to do what you know how to do, which is execute the playbook, follow the plan, add your flavor where applicable, but working with the system and folks that know 95% of that industry, like martial arts or kickboxing or taekwondo or the come anytime, snap 24/7 fitness model. You work with folks that know that and geeked out and have worked in that niche for years or on decades, and you lean on them for the information above 70%. And you know the 40 to 70 enough to get things going and to make a solid decision. From talking to franchisees that have struggled, it's folks that have gone outside their wheel of competence and tried to make up for that. If they don't know marketing, they now take a YouTube course on marketing, and now their cost per leads are $100, $200, and you need $20 leads. Or someone who doesn't know payroll, and so they spend 3 weeks trying to do end-of-year tax returns, W-2 forms for their employees, and you stop when you do that kind of thing, and you try to be at 99% in all areas and know where your 70% limit is. You're now sucking at what you need to be doing, and you're not feeding energy or juice into where you're really good at. Maybe it's marketing, and your marketing starts to slip because you're not the mastermind behind the marketing. Or you're stellar at content creation, writing blog posts, getting on podcasts, selling the brand, selling the location, selling the free trial, and now you're not having that promotion mindset because you're completely busy hiring instructors and you're not entrusting that to your club managers. And so you starve yourself by not eating the good nutrients of your genius, and you're also forcing yourself to eat garbage, and you're eating shovels full of garbage because someone's got to eat the garbage. Well, no, somebody else will love eating that garbage. You need to eat your chicken or eat your spinach or eat your rice, and don't try to eat everything for everyone. And so all that to say, the 40 to 70% rule, I think I'm starting to realize I need that gut instinct, and that's okay because I've gotten the facts, I've gotten the figures, I've made the logical decision, I know enough to make a decision, and I'm stoked to make a decision. And any of the imposter syndrome or buyer's remorse, if you will, that's fear of the unknown. And people either think too much about the past, like depression, or you think too much about the future, that's anxiety. And for me, in my belief system, I'm a Christian, and so I've been anxious my whole life. I'm always plotting and planning for the future, but that cannot be my identity. I cannot have my identity be in depression about past mistakes. I can't have my identity in future mistakes or anxiety, as it's also called. But my confidence needs to be in Christ Jesus, because he will provide, he will make a way. And he's gotten me this far, and destiny has not gotten me this far just to be this far. So I'm becoming the person that grows above and beyond my comfort zone. And I've done the 70% limit. Let's rock and roll. Let's keep going after these clubs. And the next step is to start building that gut instinct for who to hire, which vendors to use, which supplement companies can have a solid return model, which landlords can I have flexible conversations with, which general managers need to have the tough love, and which ones are ready to be a regional director over my multiple clubs. And I don't have the facts and figures for those, but I will build that gut instinct and that intuition as we get better and better. So that's the set 40-70 rule. General Colin Powell, take it.
This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY due diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.